So our first one is hatching, and hatching is a mark that just goes in a single direction. And remember, we're going from light to dark. I'm going to have my lights on this side purely just because I'm left-handed, and then I'm going to go this way towards dark. If you feel more comfortable going in the other direction this way, if you're right-handed, then that is fine as well. So with hatching, your lightest value is going to have your marks spaced pretty far apart. And I'm going to go ahead and do this in all of my boxes. This way I can add value into each one gradually. And you might notice that I'm using some broken lines. That will help later in the building up of the value as well. So I have the same value now going all the way across. For the next value, I'm going to add lines in between each of those lines that I just created. So that now I have a one step up from the first value that I created. And then I'm going to go to the third and make sure I put lines in between each of those ones that I just created. And at this point, you might start working in across the lines that are there. And basically, you're building up the density of each of your values. So remember sparse and dense from our patterns page. So the more sparse your hatching lines are, the lighter that your values will be. And then as you add in density and add in more lines, your values are becoming a lot more dense. And so it's the same idea, except for now you're working with mark making. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to continue in each of these boxes to build up the value. So you see how I have light, I have a little bit darker, and then darker, and now these two are about the same in value. Now I'm going to go through and add one more layer in this last one, and it's not going to be totally completely filled in, so resist the urge to just fill the box in. You're adding in more marks to make it darker, and it can go much darker than what I have it already. What I'm looking for is, do I have a gradual change in darkness across my spaces? So if this is too dark, then that means that I have to go back and fix this one. And I might have to go and fix this one and then this one and this one, just to make sure that we have control over our marks and that you have a gradual change from light to dark. What I'm seeing right now is that my box 3 and 4 are kind of the same. So I'm going to go back through and add more marks into 4, which means I also need to add more marks into 5. So what you'll be working toward is how many marks do you need to make to have that gradual change happening. And you'll see in this last one that I am just using much shorter marks to make it more dense, but I definitely want it to be darker than box 4. So continue to build your marks until you get that gradual change in value from lightest to darkest.